Hey everyone! Today we're going to continue reading our book from yesterday. Your objective today is to identify one thing that you might want to do in your new town or want to see, and then to identify one thing you might need to do in your new home. We're going to read chapter 3 and 4 today. I'm going to pull up our book. Remember, our book is called Moving to a New Home. You did not get a copy of this. This is from our News to You library, so I wasn't able to send a copy of this out on the student view. But the book is called Moving to a New Home, and we are reading chapter 3, Our New Town. So while we read chapter 3, I want you to think about what you might want to do or look for if you moved to a new town. Some of you live in small towns and plan to move to Sioux Falls. So what's one thing that you might want to look for or find a way to get to in your new neighborhood? And then chapter 4, making a new home. What's one thing you might need to do in your new home? So this is our table of contents, which tells us which page to go to. So we're going to go to chapter 3 on page 19. I'm going to turn my video off so we can focus on our book here. And then we'll skip ahead to chapter 3. Our new town. My family has traveled for 5 days. Our long trip is almost over. My dad pulls off the road next to a sign. The sign reads East Cliff. Actually, let's look up here. It says, "Welcome to East Cliff." We take a family photo in front of the sign. This is our new town. So remember, they had to pack all of their things and say goodbye to the old town, and they took a big moving truck across the country. They traveled 5 whole days, and they finally got to their new town and were excited to take a picture by the sign. So that might be one thing you might want to do in your new town, is to take a picture in front of the sign that says "Welcome to Sioux Falls," or the sign at your new apartment building, or in front of your new home. Beep, beep. My dad honks the horn and yells, "Let's go!" We begin to drive and explore our new town. So the family's driving around to check out what the new town has to offer. So now, this is something you should do before you move, but think about the different things you like to do or different things you might want to do, and see if you can find those things in this town. So we notice here the family drives past some old boat docks. I see a man fishing at the end of a dock. I tell my dad, I want to go fishing at the boat docks. So Adrian already found something he'd like to do in his new town. We drive past a hardware store. I see a sale sign in the window of the store. I tell my dad, we should go there to buy some paint. I want to paint my new room blue. So Adrian wants to check out the hardware store. He wants to get some paint to paint his room blue. So that might be something you might want to do in your new home to get it ready, is decide what color to have your walls. You might also need to go to the hardware store. What would you need to buy at the hardware store? I'm guessing as we read, we're going to come up with some ideas. We'll find out. We drive past a river. I see people paddling in a canoe. I tell my dad, I want to try to paddle down the river. So now Adrian has found something new that he wants to try. He likes to go fishing and he wants to paint his room, but he also wants to try canoeing. So you might find something in your new neighborhood or your new town that you would like to try too. Next, we drive past a bike shop. I see someone taking a bike into the shop. I tell my dad, I need a new bike. He says, we can visit the bike shop this weekend. Adrian is finding all sorts of things that he wants. So here's Mike's bike shop, and him and dad make plans to go shopping for a bike this weekend. We drive past the town square. I see people walking their dogs. I see children playing under a gazebo. I tell my dad, I want to walk to the town square tomorrow. So Adrian found something else he wants to do. We drive down a long dirt road. I see a tree with long branches. My dad tells me these are willow trees. I see a house with a white fence and a red door. My dad tells me this is our new home. So Adrian's looking around to see where his new home is. And you can see that his house is down a long dirt road with a big willow tree and a white fence and a red door. So he's thinking about where he's going to live and what it looks like, but he's also checking out all the different things he wants to do. Now we're going to read chapter 4, Making a New Home. In chapter 3, we looked around town to see different things we might want. We also found the hardware store. In chapter 4, we're going to find out some things we might need to do in our new home. Remember that Adrian said he'd like to paint his room? What else might you need to do in a new home? Let's find out. We have arrived at our new home. My family is so excited that we begin exploring the house before we unload the moving truck. My dad tells us that the house is very old. We need to work together to fix up the house. We need to work hard this summer before the winter. So look, Adrian's pointing out we've got some cracks, maybe some paint repairs. I can't really tell what's happening here, but they might need to go to the hardware store or hire someone to help fix their house. So one thing they need to do is make repairs. We step onto the front porch. My dad says, the porch needs a new front step. This step is old and broken. I tell my dad, I will help fix the front step. My mom says, I want to hang a swing on the porch. My sister says, I will help hang the swing. So they thought about things that they need to do, like fix some damaged items, the wall, the steps, some things they want, like to hang a swing. And it sounds like both Adrian and his sister are going to help get their new home ready to live in. We step into the house. I try to ring the doorbell, but it doesn't work. I tell my dad, I want to fix the doorbell. My dad says, I will help you fix the doorbell. They might need to pick up some supplies for that doorbell at the hardware store. I hope they budgeted for this. Oh no, Adrian's family's having a lot going wrong in their new home. So that's something to think about when you move to a new home. How much is it going to cost to move? They had to drive for 5 days in that moving truck. And how much is it going to cost to get your new home ready to live in? What do you need? And what does your home need? This home needs quite a bit of work. We walk into the kitchen. My sister sees a puddle of water near the sink. She says, the sink has a leak. My mom says, I will go out and buy a new sink. Sounds like another trip to the hardware store for them. I run up the stairs with my sister to pick out our bedrooms. I tell my sister, I like this room. I want to paint the walls blue. My sister says, I will help you paint the walls. So now Adrian has decided he wants to have his walls blue. He said that when he walked by the hardware store earlier. We don't know if the walls need to be painted, but we know he wants to paint them, so it's a color he likes. Our dad shouts, come down and help us unload the moving truck. I will order pizza for anyone who helps carry boxes. We run down the stairs to help while shouting, pizza! So another thing that you need to do to get your new home ready is to help unpack those boxes. We checked out Adrian's home. He explored, they unloaded boxes. They checked out all the different things they need to fix, the things that are broken. They talked about hanging a swing. They're going to have to hang a new doorbell. We're going to have to buy a lot of new things like paint, a new sink, supplies to fix the leak, a new doorbell, things to fix the step. So that new home is going to cost money to repair and get ready to live in. And that's the big takeaway I want you to have from this chapter, is that moving to a new home can be an exciting experience, but there are a lot of things you need to do to be ready, and it's important to plan ahead for those things. I hope you have a great day. We'll finish our book tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye.